Hi, in this video, I'm going to be giving you an overview of eZee Optimus online restaurant, bar, and inventory management system. So this system comes with a backend and a front end. The backend is for configuring the software, and the front end is for tracking your inventory, for ringing sales, and for printing receipts, among others. So I'm simply going to log in into this demo account so that you can have an idea of how eZee Optimus operates. Okay, so this is the front end of eZee Optimus, but I'm simply just going to show you the back end and to show you how certain things work, including how to add menu items, inventory items, and link these inventory items to menu items. So eZee Optimus allows you to create an outlet, and an outlet is a POS station. So if you have a restaurant that's separate from a bar, you can create a restaurant outlet and a bar outlet. If you have the two of them together, you can just have restaurant and bar put together. So eZee Optimus give you the opportunity to create several outlets. It also gives you the opportunity or the capability to add different type of payment methods, from mobile money to cash to Visa card, credit card, check, etc., based on the structure of your restaurant or cafe. You are also given the opportunity to define several currencies, and we try to create or set up the tax for you based on the country structure. So if in Ghana we add the tourism levy, the GET fund, the NHI, or the VAT, we make the right calculations for you, or based on the structure that you want or the structure that you work with, and then customize it and configure it in the system for you. The system also gives you the opportunity to add extra charges, discounts. You can also add accounts. So an account is basically your vendor or supplier, or even a company or a customer that you usually work with. So when we click on account, you can see that I have market. So a market here is like the open market for a vendor. So for example, if you're adding new items, inventory items, you can say that these items were bought from the market. That means you don't have a specific vendor that you are purchasing from. You can also have no charge accounts. So no charge here means complimentary. So if the manager decides to eat from the restaurant, it could be a complimentary meal or a free meal, but you want the system to be able to know that this meal was charged at a zero charge, or whichever it is that you want to work with. Okay, so you can also have a directory for your guest database, so you can see all your guests. So if, for example, you are the kind of bakery that or cafe that adds guest information, you can have the guest database. So I'll just move straight to the menu items. The system gives you the opportunity to categorize your menu items. So you can categorize them based on subgroups, item groups. So this is menu item group. Then this is the items, right? So these are your menu items. The system gives you the opportunity to add menu items either one at a time or import a list. So by clicking here on this plus sign, you can add an individual menu item with a description, the category it falls under, the type of food, the how you want it to appear at the front end, the price, find out whether it's inclusive of tax, the days it is going to be inactive. So you can say that, okay, so this particular meal is inactive on Sundays and Tuesdays, active only on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can also indicate the time that it should be active. Okay, so this is basically how to add menu items. And then to import menu items, you simply come here, click import item, and then the system allows you, or the system gives you the file format to use. And then if you correctly upload the information or the data that you need to upload, it will be imported into the system. We also give you the opportunity for menu management. So menu management is more about configuring what you want the front end to look like. So if you come here, you can say under food, which is a menu group, you want to have breakfast, main dishes, and drinks. If you had another menu group called drinks, you can put let's say cocktails, soft drinks, alcoholic drinks under that, and that's what will show at the front end. I'll show you exactly how this looks after we are done with this aspect. You are also able to add waiters to the system so that if a waiter logs in, he or she is permanently logged onto the system, which means that any sale that he or she makes will go under his name. Okay, so the waiter can be created as a user with an identification as a waiter so that you can track the sales which are being made by a particular waiter. Okay, so we also have table management. This is just at the configuration aspect. It shows if you have different floors on your in your restaurant or bar. So if you have a ground floor, a first floor, you can create different floors, and then and specifies the tables, the number of tables, the number of chairs per table that go on that floor. Okay, we just move on to inventory model. So inventory model is more about tracking the items that are used to create or used to make your menu items. For example, if you want something like fried rice, what are the items that you are going to use, the inventory items that is going to be used to make or prepare that particular meal like fried rice. Okay, so the system allows you to define several storage areas. So under restaurants, I created restaurant store. So we are saying that this restaurant is restaurant store. So track items under restaurant store. Sorry. If I had several outlets, I could have, let's say, a bar store as well under bar outlets. Okay. So now our system also gives you the opportunity to categorize your items. So if you have vegetables, you can have vegetables, you can have cereal, you can have drinks, different categories based on how you want to categorize it. You can have fish, you can have meat, you can have all of that. Okay. Now the system also tracks these items by units. Okay, so you can specify that, let's say, one bottle or one carton of Avaro equals 24 bottles. All right, so the system allows you to add several units of measures per inventory item. So if you look over here and you look at absolute vodka, it's a drink, and this is the base unit. The base unit is how you buy it. Then the subunits will be how you sell it, or the unit in which it is being used to prepare a specific meal. So if we add, let's say, carrots, and a bunch of carrots equals 100 pieces. So you can say a bunch of carrots, and then you come here and write pieces. So 100 pieces make a bunch of carrots. Okay, so the system allows you to specify that. So you can either add the items or the inventory items one at a time, or like I said, for the menu items, you can import these items using the file format that the system accepts. Okay, so let's move on to menu item BOM. BOM here means bill of material. So the system allows you to do portion control, which means it allows you to track the inventory items not only by the quantity but also by the cost that goes into a specific meal. So for example, if you have fried rice as a menu item, you can have inventory items rice, oil, and vegetables, to be simple. Okay, so for fried rice, you can specify that for one plate of fried rice sold, okay, this is the amount or the unit of rice that should be subtracted. So let's say 500 grams of rice should be subtracted whenever a purchase of one plate of fried rice is made. Then maybe 5 liters of oil, and maybe 2 portions of vegetables. Okay, so once you're able to define that, you are able to track your cost. That is the cost of the inventory items going into 1 plate of rice. And if you already know the sale amount or your sales price, then you're able to track your profit as well as your profit markup. Okay, so for menu item BOM, I think I try to configure it. So let's see if I can. You can take a look at something here. Okay, there's none here. I don't know if I created for continental breakfast. You can also create it for drinks. So for every drink sold, or for every bottle of drink sold, it should subtract by 1 bottle. If you are selling in tots, you can say 24 tots make 1 bottle of absolute vodka. So for every tot sold, it should deduct per bottle. Okay, it should deduct per tot per bottle. All right. So I think it was specified for Coke. Okay, all right. So over here you can see that the BOM, or the bill of material for Coke, for 1 Coke costs 1 bottle for 1 quantity, which is the cost per unit is 10 cedis. So for example, if you are selling 1 bottle of Coke at 25 cedis and the cost is 10 cedis, automatically you are getting your profit of 15 cedis. Okay. Okay, so now that this is done, I think I'll just go to this aspect. This is a more technical aspect. So as every good system is supposed to be able to help you categorize accesses or specify accesses per users and user roles. So the system allows you to create several user roles. So you can have an admin, a waiter, a cashier, and then if I am to edit this, you can see the privileges. So you can determine whether or not the cashier or the waiter should have access to the back end, or maybe some parts of the back end and some parts of the front end. Okay, and what reports this cashier or waitress should have access to, right? So you can create a user role like waiter, and then specify the privileges and accesses that the user role should have. Then you can come and create a user to be assigned to that user role. So under user, you can create a user and say, okay, this is the username, the password. Is this user a waiter? Okay, so you can. So if Ano here is a waiter, you can specify that Ano should be linked to this waiter name Ano. Okay, so if a waiter has been created, you link to that. Then okay, so this is an admin account, so I don't have access to do that. But if I click yes, okay, sure. Now this should be easier. So now over here you can see that you can create the name, you can create the password, username, waiter. You can create the user, so you can add the user role. So if you have different user roles, as soon as you select, let's say waiter, it will automatically populate the privileges that you have specified in the user role that we went to work on right now. But now, if however your waiters, you have different types of waiters and different type of accesses you want to give them, even as you select waiter, you can still make changes to the privileges that you have already predefined under the user role. So you can have reports, you can define what reports they should have access to. So even though you have specified accesses per user role, you still have the flexibility of specifying or of selecting which other privileges to give to this particular user. Okay, so now just go straight to the front end of the system. So eZee Optimus gives you so many ways of taking orders. All right, so we have the dine-in. If it's a restaurant, so you have a dine-in, you can select, so you can add different tables. You can add tables in the table configuration aspect at the back end. You can have takeaway for when people are not going to sit in, so that they can immediately order for their food. You can have a delivery service, okay, where you can assign drivers. You can add the mobile number, the delivery address, and make and assign a driver to this particular delivery, and then take payment after the delivery guy has returned with the amount of money, or if they paid via Visa or mobile money, you can also settle the bill. Okay, so let me just take you through the dining. So for dining, you can select a table by simply clicking on it, and this is the capacity of people sitting on the table. So you can say two people are sitting on this table. This is so as an admin or a cashier can have access to select a waiter that has been assigned to this table. Okay, so if you have the access to do that, you can do that and select the waiter. The guest detail and mobile number at this point is not important, but if it's something that your restaurant or bakery or cafe is interested in, it can be made compulsory. Then you just save. So if the guest wants to order one continental, okay, so active time is over because it's right at the moment it's 12 p.m. So if you want to add banquet tilapia and they want to add one more, then you just select more by 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 simply tapping on the same order. Okay, you can also double click here and then reduce or add the order. Okay, so now at this aspect you are able to add a preparation remark on the order, so which means you can tell the kitchen that this particular order or this particular guest or customer wants this order maybe with low spice, maybe not, the pepper shouldn't be too hot or something like that. So the system gives you the opportunity to add a preparation remark so that the people working at the kitchen or the chef can observe that. Okay, so you can also delete this order, you can add other orders. So maybe you want to add 2 bottles of Coke to this order, that should be possible. All right, and so if the guest is going to be sitting at the restaurant or the bakery or cafe, you simply just click finish, and it shows that this order has been running for about a minute now. So you can even estimate the time it has taken to serve the customer. Okay, so now we have dining as well. So dining, straightforward, you come to the order taking dashboard. So you can just select maybe 1 bottle of Coke and one banquet tilapia, and you can simply do a quick pay where they're able to just pay quickly, or just click on settle if you have several, if they are using a form of payment which is aside from cash. So if they want to use bank or they want to use Momo as a payment type, you can simply select that. So you can just use this to settle. Okay, but we are not settling now. You can just go back and then finish. Okay, so maybe they've placed their order, but you haven't brought the order to them yet. You can have that done. Okay, and then just cancel this. Okay, so from here you can see that we have order summary. So order summary simply shows the orders that are running, completed, the orders that have been cancelled. So over here you can see here that these are the orders running. If you click here, orders that are completed, and then the orders that have been cancelled, and over here you can click here to view all orders. So these are the orders that are currently here. Okay, so there are so many ways you can interact with the orders. Okay, so for example, if we select table 1, we can decide to print the KOT. So note that as soon as you click print when the order is made, or sorry, as soon as you click finish when the order is made, it directly prints a short receipt, like receipt form printout to the kitchen, which shows that maybe one order of banquet tilapia or 2 orders of banquet tilapia. Okay, so that happens as soon as you click finish. So we configure the system with whichever receipt printer you have. Now if the kitchen complains that they've lost the order, you can reprint the KOT. You can also void this order if, let's say, the guest thinks you are taking too long and has decided to leave. You can void the order. Then you can also print a receipt or a bill. So now that this order has not been paid, right? So the guest hasn't paid for the food yet. When you print, it will show the bill. So to show that this is the amount due and they've paid zero. Okay. Now you can now, sorry. Okay, so now you can also merge orders. So for example, the takeaway person decides to join the table one, right? So you can just select all these orders and merge them. So you want to use order details of the first one and merge the two. So success, you've created a new order at table one, merging all of them together. All right. Now you can also, so from here you can see that the orders are here: two banku and tilapia and three coke. So they can settle the bill here. Now I forgot to mention that over here you see the extra charge, you see the discounts, you see no charge. So if the user has access to these features, the user will be able to see this. And we can simply print the bill or just settle the bill. So over here it adds up to 210 Ghana cedis. They're paying cash. Yes, and as soon as you activate or you tell the system that the customer has paid, a receipt is printed that you can send to or give to the customer. So that's how the order taking works. All right, so you have accesses to report, to customer lookup, to account lookup, item lookup. So if you have a lot of menu items, you can simply just search. So if the cashier, the waiter is having an issue identifying or finding a particular menu item, they can just come here, item lookup, and search. Okay, so let's just go straight to reports. And before I get to reports, let me show you how inventory is tracked in the system. All right, okay, so the system gives you the opportunity to raise purchase orders, and if you have a process flow where you have where approval is necessary, the system gives you the opportunity to determine who can approve what. Okay, so you are given the opportunity to raise a purchase order, so you can raise a purchase order, select a vendor. Like I showed, that I created a vendor called market, and add an item. Okay, so a system gives the opportunity to add an item. So you can simply come here and select, let's say, Coke. All right, and you want 10 bottles. So we run out of Coke, we want 10 bottles of Coke. Okay, and so we save that, and that's done. Now you've created this, and you've printed it out. It's been approved because I'm the only user here. There's no approval level, but based on the structure of your restaurant or bakery or your cafe, we can activate approval level. So as soon as the purchase order is printed, you can go and make the purchase. Then now you have to tell the system that I have received these items. Okay, so you can simply click receive. All right, and these are the items. So maybe you just select this. Maybe I went to purchase 10, but I got 12 instead. Okay, and just continue. Sure. Okay, all right, so that's not it. So you can actually, it's rather lower, so you can't receive more than you raise the purchase for. So let's just say I got 9 and continue. All right, okay, so I got 9 bottles. Okay, and so this was it. And you can simply just say, so good receipt note, you can simply just say save. Okay, so you can add the invoice number of the vendor. You can add a comment and just save. All right, okay, so you've received the goods. Okay, so this is good receipt note. So these goods were received. Okay, yes, and this purchase order. So now you can just simply come here and complete the purchase. You want to complete the purchase order. It's because you purchased 9 instead of 10. All right, but you can still come here and click receive, and it's left with 1 bottle. So you can continue, and Okay, so it's only one here, just save. All right, so it's done. So now you can complete this order. So order is completed. Okay, and so good received notes is also here. You've received two different orders. So the 10 and then the 10, the 9 and then the 1. All right, so you are done with that. So let me just go straight to reports. I think I should probably show indenting. Indenting works when you're transferring from one store to another. For example, you have a central store and you have a restaurant store, and let's say the drinks at the restaurant store are done, so you want to ask or request for drinks from the central store. So you send a form to the central store electronically. And right now I don't have more than one store, so it's going to be hard to do that. But if you have, so you see, I don't have more than one store. So if I had another store, because I'm already in restaurant store, if I have another store, just select central store, select the items you want plus the quantity that you need, and then you save. And then when you save it, when you switch back to a bar store, or the store, actually when you switch to the central store, you would see that you've received some indents, or you've received requisition, okay, from the restaurant store, and then you can approve, and automatically the items are issued in the system to the restaurant store, and then you can physically on the ground move these items to the restaurant store. Okay, so now we have, let me just go straight to reports and then we'll be done. So the system gives you so many options for reports, and you can favorite the reports that are more important to you. So you can view menu item sales detail and just click on reports. All right, so you can see that we purchased 2 banco and tilapia and 3 coke, and this is the price amount. This is the price, this is the amount, and this is the total amount, and then that's it. Okay, so this is the cost, the price for one, and then this amount by multiplying the price by the quantity plus the taxes to give you the actual total amount. Okay, so the system gives you that. The system gives you sales reports, so you can see cashier sales details. You can see no charge reports, the reports that, or the sales that have been made free, like the complimentary sales you've made. Okay, you also have inventory reports where you can check your purchase order register. Okay, so for here you can see it's completed, the status completed, so we don't have any adjustments or anything subtotals we made, because this has been completed. Okay, then we can have good receipt note register. Okay, so this is completed as well, so you have zeros here. Okay, then we have menu item consumption detail, indent, that's requisition details. Then we have stock reports. All right, so you can use stock ledger and just say report. Okay, so you can see that as of today for Coke, we we purchased 10 bottles of Coke. All right, and we sold 3 bottles of Coke. So the system gives you that opportunity as well. Then we have audit reports that show all the charges that were voided or payments that were voided. Now with user access, also access is also comes with access to whether or not to void certain details like charges, payments. So based on the privilege you give to the user, you'll be able to do that. So this is just a summary of eZee Optimus, and I hope that I have been able to successfully show you how this system will benefit your business. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, you can just simply log into www.powersoft PowerSoft system. So www.powersoftsystem.com. You can call any of these numbers up here to inquire about our products, and you can also send an email to sales@powersoftsystem.com. So thank you very much for listening.